Panic grips Dubai as authorities arrest war survivors and shut down oil fields and airspace amid escalating tensions. Regional governments scramble to hide the extent of destruction as Iran strikes back for the Karg Island attacks. Reports say the UAE leader has ordered arrests of drone attack survivors accused of sharing incident photos with relatives. In a late-night move, the UAE declares a complete airspace shutdown as fresh waves of attacks persist. A major gas field in Abu Dhabi ceases operations following a drone strike that sparked a large industrial fire. With the Hormuz campaign faltering, the US steps back, leaving Arab allies anxious about potential Iranian retaliation.
I would really, I'm demanding that these countries come in and protect their own territory, because it is their territory. It's the place from which they get their energy, and they should come and they should help us protect it. You could make the case that maybe we shouldn't even be there at all because we don't need it. We have a lot of oil.
The outcome of war cannot be determined by tweets. The result of a war is determined in the field, the very place where you and your forces do not dare to approach, and you can only talk about it in your tweets. It's better to name this war as epic fear instead of epic fury.
Chaos deepens across the UAE as reports emerge of war survivors being detained for sharing private photos of the recent explosions, raising questions about government control and censorship. According to a report by the Daily Mail, 3 foreign nationals in Dubai have been arrested for sending photos of a drone strike to their families abroad, sparking global concern over freedom of communication. Investigations suggest the survivors had shared the images privately to assure their families they were safe after an explosion severely damaged their residential building. The attack reportedly struck a high-rise tower in Dubai's Creek Harbour district on the evening of March 11th, causing widespread panic among residents in one of the city's most modern neighborhoods. The advocacy group Detained in Dubai condemned local authorities for allegedly jailing victims instead of assisting them, calling the crackdown a troubling sign of misplaced priorities. CEO of Detained in Dubai, Radha Stirling, said, and I quote, "Detained in Dubai, 3 traumatized survivors of an Iran drone strike were arrested after privately sharing a photo with loved ones confirming they were alive. Instead of receiving victim support, they were locked up by Dubai police." When people experience something as shocking as a drone strike hitting their building, their first instinct is to contact their families and let them know they are safe. Criminalizing that human response risks punishing victims rather than protecting them. Foreign residents often assume that sending a photo privately to family members is harmless. In the UAE, even a personal unshared photograph related to sensitive events can trigger a criminal investigation. We have contacted the foreign ministers of the individuals' respective countries to request urgent support and to urge the UAE to apply common sense when enforcing its laws in situations involving traumatized victims. The incident took place against the backdrop of renewed hostilities between Iran and the US-Israel alliance, as cross-Gulf tensions reached their highest level in years. In response to escalating threats, the UAE shut down its airspace overnight on March the 16th and 17th, describing the move as an exceptional precaution to ensure public safety. On March 16th, Abu Dhabi suspended activity at the Shah gas field after drone strike triggered a massive fire, disrupting one of the nation's key energy sites. Officials later confirmed that emergency crews had contained the fire and begun assessing the extent of damage to the facility and surrounding infrastructure. In a sharp escalation, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps issued a warning that it may target US interests operating within the United Arab Emirates, signaling a widening of the regional conflict. Tehran declared that American missile launch points and logistical hubs located at UAE ports and naval docks are now considered legitimate targets in response to recent US military actions. The warning followed US airstrikes on key Iranian military installations situated on Karg Island, a vital energy hub that plays a crucial role in Tehran's oil export network. According to a Wall Street Journal report, Washington is now considering a plan to take control of Karg Island, which currently manages nearly 90% of Iran's total crude exports. Despite earlier threats, US President Donald Trump now seems to be scaling back efforts to protect oil shipments through the Strait of Hormuz, as regional costs and risks continue to mount.
Well, it's not immediately, but it will take a little time to get here. Some of the countries have minesweepers, that's good. Some of the countries have a certain type of boat that could help us. Some of the countries would be a little helpful. Remember, it only takes a couple of people to screw up the strait, a couple of terrorists. You don't need their military. toss it up. So we need. I would really, I'm demanding that these countries come in and protect their own territory, because it is their territory. It's the place from which they get their energy, and they should come and they should help us protect it. You could make the case that maybe we shouldn't even be there at all, because we don't need it. We have a lot of oil. We're the #1 producer anywhere in the world times 2, by double, at least double. Now I think it's much higher than that. But we do it. It's almost like we do it for habit. But we also do it for some very good allies that we have in the Middle East.
Sir, you mentioned that Iran wants to make a deal. However, earlier today we heard their foreign minister say they never said they wanted to make a deal and that they'll do whatever they can to defend Iran.
What they tell you and what they tell the public. You know, I just put out a truth about their disinformation. I assume most of you saw it. But they use AI. They said they attacked the USS Abraham Lincoln, one of the largest ships in the world, an aircraft carrier, and they show pictures of it burning. It was never attacked, it was never burning. The Wall Street Journal put out a false story that 5 of our big, beautiful tankers that we feed the planes with, they give the planes the gas, jet fuel, hundreds of thousands of gallons of gasoline, that they were all essentially destroyed. They weren't destroyed at all. In fact, 4 of them were not even, I mean, literally were not damaged. And 1 of them has slight damage and will be back in the air soon. But if you read the Wall Street Journal, it's like they were totally decimated and destroyed, like Iran has been. So they put out phony stories. The kamikaze boats don't exist. They're fake. And you can almost see that when you look at them. It looks great, yeah. Because if they did exist, we'd hit them just like we hit other boats all over the place. But they don't exist. In fact, some of the people say, where are the boats? Well, how come nobody's seen the boats? You know why? Because it's AI generated. It's fake. And I found, I didn't realize this before we started, but Iran is known for a lot of fake news. And they deal with our fake news. And I actually think it's pretty criminal, because our media companies, who have no credibility whatsoever, are putting out information that they know is false, and it's a very dangerous thing for the country. I think they could be in serious jeopardy, frankly.